What's up guys, and welcome to this introduction to the Mari node graph, and we start right now. The node graph. Let's dive into the preferences. So under edit preferences, we have some settings for the node graph. So when with Mari ships, it has the advanced view disabled by default. And I can show you, if I enable the node graph, it's gonna look like this. So let's go to preferences, node graph, and hit enable, and there you go. So this is the node graph, and as you see here, there's in the channel you have the color. So this is actually what Mari have under the scene. Before I dive into the node graph, I want to set this aside. I even want to disable this, and let's make a channel with a couple of layers and stuff, and then we look at it, what Mari does when it builds its own node graph, and then we can recreate a node graph ourselves and see what the difference will be. So let's do that. Let's dive into, let's make a new channel, diff call, let's say 2K patches, 16-bit, just the color, and let's make a layer. So let's take away some of this. Okay, so let's make a color first, like a procedural color. So this is similar to what I did in earlier tutorials. I just want to make a few nodes, some layers. So let's make some kind of olive green thing here. Let's group it. Let's make a cloud. And let's say overlay to break up some of that. Let's take I don't want to have it totally black, and decrease the opacity. Maybe actually just streak the pattern first, something like that. Opacity. Yeah, okay. And underneath here, let's make something dark color, like a metal aluminum, something like that. Let's make a let's take a scratch something here, scuff. Let's reveal some oops, let actually on the painting. So I just toasted all my settings, so everything is back to default. Okay, with that selected, I wanna start to just make some kind of ship. Let's imagine that this is a some kind of scratched part there. Okay, it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna go for beautiful. I just want a few layers, and then we can dissect. And let's rename this to olive green. Okay, and let's make this, maybe this the gun here, let's make a color there as well. Color, let's set it to something gunmetal. Let's group it, let's make a mask, and actually I want to select all the objects and go to Right click, layer mask, add mask from selection. So there we go. And let's add a some kind of decal on top of that. So just a layer. And let's take a something from the image manager. This one. Let's go from the side. Okay. And let's flood that and bake it down. So here we have very quick, like 3 layers essentially: the green, the metal, and the decal. Yeah, so that's an ordinary kind of a layer-based approach. So let's take away the layers here now and open the node graph and see what we have. So let's kill the original color one. So we only have this one. So let's dissect this now. So the diff col here. Let's take this, scoot it over so you have some more real estate. So where is it? Can be tricky when you let Mari deal with the building. Therefore, I recommend kind of building it yourself. And but we can certainly search in this now. So if you hit the J, you get a search dialog. So if you know what you're searching for, in my case, diff col. So you can see whatever is in the node graph. Diff col. So okay, there it is. So this is the channel node. So essentially it's there, and I'm looking at the port list. So we have 2 options in the preferences. The node graph, the port list, it goes from like horizontal, and then you have the vertical. That's the old way. I prefer this way actually. So if we look at now, let's take and open the layers as well. So it goes from the bottom over here is actually the base. So you can see what's called base here. It's this layer, and I didn't use this one. This one was the default one, and you see it's like a palette, and that palette is essentially this node. This was like a paintable node, and to make a paintable node in the node graph, you can hit the P button. Then you get an option for what size of the patches, what bit depth, and stuff like that. So now here's an empty paintable node. So this is what Mari would make by default if you create a channel. It will make a channel, and the channel is this entity over here, and it will make a base layer. So this is a layer, and this is the actual where the paint is residing, and the bottom transparency, this configuration is what Mari always builds in the bottom. So then I added a color, the base color, the black one, and that's over here. So it's kind of messy here. So let's try and clean this up first. Well, you can drag stuff around here, or you can right click and say auto place and see what happens. Guess you have to have them selected. So here we get something that's more tidy. And let's see, where's the base? There we go. And there's the color, that's the color 2. So this is the actual the dark color I choose in the layer, and it's merged with an over. So that's the merge node is essentially what is defined as a layer in the old way. So this one is the you see I made a group here. the group is essentially this combination here. It's over into a merge, and it has two things going in. So we have, first off, we have the color, and it's merged because this one is over that one, so this one is then merged as a cloud over. This is the mask, so I painted a mask. It's a paintable, and it goes into the mask. So this is the mask for the group. So this is why I prefer to build this myself, because it becomes quite messy. It's a little hard to understand what's happening, autoplace stuff. So let's create this. If I would build this from my on my own without using the layer graph. So first off, yes, let's actually just chuck it into a backdrop. And so if you hit a tab and start to say backdrop, you can just do like in Nuke, can contain this. And let's forget about the layer graph now and rebuild this kind of. You can either create a new channel in the channel, or you can actually create it in the node graph itself. So let's create it in a node graph. Tab, channel. This is like when you create the channel, you get an option box for patch size, bit depth, and similar. So this is what you get here as well. My channel, this is, I name it. Let's take a patch size, 16-bit, everything. So here we go. And it's similar to Nuke. If you hit the one in the node graph, this is, then you get a, where is it? It's down here. This is a viewer. You can have up to, what is it, 9 different locations. And you can also hook it up to your shader, for example. So at the moment, there's no layers. So imagine we want to make now like that base layer that was procedural color. So if I hit tab and type color, so if this is the end of the chain, you kind of want to start from here, and you can just drag and to the input, or you can, let's see, yeah, input. I want to have a choose a color, so let's take something darkish there as well. And then I want to add that olive green thing. So then I want to build on top of this. I have to use a merge now to add a layer on top of this. So I hit the M button, and then it inserts a merge. So this is the base coming in. So I can hook up that olive green thing. I can take another color now. So tab, color. So this is all the nodes that start with C, and color is one of the first ones. So let's double click on it. Yeah, node properties, that's something. We can place it there. Okay, so let's choose the color. So node properties is similar to the properties in the layers. You can have a maximum number here. Maybe we just want 2 nodes, similar to Nuke. You can limit the number that will show up before it's, and yes, can clear it. So if I double click on something in a node graph, it's gonna pop up there, the merge node. So this is the settings for this node. If I double click on this one now, if I have 2 set there, so this one is gonna go away. And you see there. So let's take this, make it olive green. Whoops. Olive green. Something like that. And let's take the output and hook it onto the over. And there you see now as my viewer is hooked up to one there, it turns all green. So now we want to apply that cloud. And you remember I added it like inside a group kind of, or I want to merge the cloud and the color together before it feeds into here, and that's kind of making a group. So let's make a cloud first. And I want to inspect the cloud parameters and the look of it, and double click on the cloud to get the settings. And so here we go. Just take the settings for it. Let's make it something like that. So now I want to merge the color and the cloud together, so I can select them both and hit M. And let's actually take the color as a base and the cloud as over. And then I want to use, so in my case I used a overlay, so in the layer editor. So now we can do similar here, but in the node properties. So let's take an overlay. Let's turn it down so we have something like that. Remember I painted a mask, and let's do that as well. So what I did then, I had like a paintable mask. So in that case, you can just hit the P button and make it all white. That's gonna be fully gonna show everything. So if we would paint with black, it would take away. So we can just go here. That's fine, fully white. Can rename it to mask and hook it up to the mask. Let's take the output into the input of this node. Yeah, so we hook up this mask into the mask, and with that selected, I can start to paint. And let's take a black one. Let's ship off some paint here as well. We're not going for fancy. So there we go. We did that in the other one as well. Let's paint something black back there. Just clean this up a bit so it's just on the side there. So it's shipped. So there we go. Let's clean this up with a backdrop node. So we can say that this one, I select those and say backdrop. Double click and rename it to olive green. Can actually also make it olive-ish by taking the background color on that backdrop. Aluminium. Okay. So now we want to get that kind of the Gatling, this piece here. So let's insert another merge node, another color to choose some kind of gunmetal. Double click on it. Take a darkish gray. Take the output into the over. So first off, I wanna make a mask now. Another mask. So let's make it paintable. But I wanna flood fill everything with black now. So it's gonna reveal everything. So make it black and hook it up into the mask. So that's gonna bring everything back. And then we can just select all the patches we wanna use for the mask. And go to the node and right click and say patches fill white. And there you go. So if we look at this now, if we hit the 1 on that paint node, you see, so I filled them with white. So this is the mask for making just this color show up where it's white there. So we can rename this to gunmetal. And let's imagine now you want to use this cloud as the same breakup for this color. You can do that as well. Just hit the M there and take the output to this over there. So let's scoot this over, make some real estate. So with the control, you get those little diamonds. If you hit on one of those diamonds, you get a dot node. So that's a way of cleaning your graph up a bit. Let's actually do that. So now we have this the cloud noise shared from that one into this one as well. So we can just use that and make a multiply. Have the same noise there, subtle. Lastly, let's scoot this over. We use that, you know, the paint through with the logo. So now the mask merge. Another paint through, and in this case I want to use transparency, so I set this the alpha down to 0 here in this slider. Rename it to logo, the paint node, and hook it to the over. Go from the side view, take the same paint through tool, bake it down. So there we go. It's similar, but it's gonna look a little different, I guess. So yeah, it's actually, yeah, I really like to build my own nodes. I know where I have everything. And it becomes a little bit cleaner than just letting Mori build it for you. You add some extra stuff here and there for the same amount of bang for the buck, kind of. So let's go and take current channel, switch between them. So here we see that's the one I built now. I mean, it's different in color, but it's the same kind of concept. But you see in the node graph, and what's the beauty of this? It's easier to do stuff here in the node graph now, because let's say you want to add some breakup of this logo. First off, let's imagine you wanna first just take away some. Like scratch this logo, but not the green paint. So let's do that first. So the logo is there, so let's another paint node. And let's make it white. And let's take it into the mask. So nothing happens there. Now we can start to scratch it. And let's take... Yeah, this is, but then you realize, I want to scratch down into the actual, like the underlaying aluminium. So you can just take this and control maybe. So you make a dot node, and then you want to merge this one. So we can just go there, hit the merge node, insert it there, take the output, go over, combine those two masks, And let's look at it now. So there we see, now I easily just shuffle that mask into another place. And you can do similar stuff in the layer, but you have to share or copy and paste, and it's easier to just do it like this, I think. Yeah, that's the introduction to the Mari node graph. In the next episode, we're gonna take a look at some other workflows. And as usual, if you wanna support my channel, just hit the subscribe button, give me some comments what I wanna see next, and I will try to squeeze it in for you. See you in the next chapter. Bye.